If you've been looking at property in Dominican Republic over the last few years, then you've probably noticed something. Prices aren't what they used to be. Maybe you were looking at a condo in Punta Cana a few years ago. You come back today, same project or something similar, it's selling for a whole lot more. Maybe you've been looking at projects in Santo Domingo or Cap Cana or Las Terrenas, and it all seems like the prices are just climbing and climbing and climbing. So naturally, people are gonna ask the same question. Jade, what's going on? Are developers raising prices just because they can? Is this a bubble? Should I wait for prices to come back down? And those are fair questions. And after working alongside Milton and touring several developments, talking to buyers every single week, and watching the market evolve over the last several years, I've learned one important thing, and that is there isn't one reason why prices are increasing. It's several. And once you understand what's driving the market, you'll be in a better position to decide if, when, and where you should buy. Let's dive into it. One of the biggest changes I've noticed isn't that it's more people buying, it's who's buying. Years ago, many developers, you know who they focused on? They focused on the local buyers. Today, the market looks extremely different. You have Dominicans who live abroad and they want a place back home. You have Americans, you have Canadians, and they're all looking for vacation properties. You have retirees, you have remote workers, investors, families relocating, people buying their first property, and you have some people buying their fifth investment property. That's a much broader group competing for the same development. And when demand increases, prices, it usually follows. Keep in mind, tourism and real estate, they're connected. Someone comes to the Dominican Republic for a 1-week vacation, they have an amazing experience. 1 year later, they come back and they stay for a whole month. And eventually they start asking questions like this. I wonder how much it'll cost to have my own property down here. Or can I spend my winters here? What if I retire here one day? I've seen this happen several times. Matter of fact, those who reach out to Milton and myself, they started the exact same way. They didn't come looking for a property, they came looking for a vacation, but then the property came later. A few years ago, people had to live close to where they work, but today, that is no longer true for most professionals. If someone earns their income online, all of a sudden, they have options. So they're no longer asking, where do I have to live? What they're asking now is, where do I want to live? And for many people, the Dominican Republic ends up on that list. Warm weather, ocean views, modern apartment, reliable internet in many areas, international airport, a growing business community. Remote work has created an entire different type of buyer, something that wasn't as common 10 years ago. Now let's talk about something that many people have noticed, include myself, what happened since COVID. Bottom line, it costs more to build today than several years ago. Full stop. And think about what goes into constructing a condominium. Steel, concrete, glass, electrical system, elevators, windows, labor, transportation, insurance, permits. Developers just aren't building projects for the same cost that they built it years ago. Those higher costs, guess where they show up now? In the final sale price. So it's not always about somebody trying to charge you more. It just comes back to, now it's just more expensive to build. One thing that I've enjoyed watching over the last 5 years is watching Dominican Republic continue to invest in its infrastructure, especially here in Santo Domingo. New roads, better highways, shopping centers, restaurants, hospitals, schools, parks, and entertainment. And as these neighborhoods improve, they naturally become more attractive. And when more people want to live in a certain neighborhood, guess what? The value of that property increases. I've seen neighborhoods transform in a relatively short period of time. What used to be an overlooked area has now become the place that people are looking to buy. And that's why location is still the biggest factor when it comes to investing in real estate. And here's something else that changed as well. Years ago, people focused more on the apartment itself when they decided that they wanted to buy. Nowadays, people are buying the lifestyle. They want a gym. They want a rooftop pool, co-working spaces, restaurants nearby, walkability, security, green spaces, and a few coffee shops around the corner. People just want to know, what is my everyday life going to look like here? And this is where the developers have responded by creating communities, not just building. That added value there it also affects the pricing. Sometimes people ask me, if prices are going up, why don't developers just build more? And the answer to that is simple. Because it takes more time. Finding land, designing the project, getting permits, securing financing, construction, marketing, and then finally delivering the project. And that process there can take several years. And meanwhile, buyers keep entering the market during that time period. And supply can't instantly catch up with the demand. And another thing that's helping drive the market is confidence. When international hotel brands invest, when large developers continue launching projects, when infrastructure continues to improve, that sends a message. And right there, people begin to believe in the long-term future of the market. That confidence there attracts even more investments. And that's one of the reasons why we're seeing growth in places that you barely heard people talk about years ago, like Valleibe, Wandolio, Miches, Pedernales, places like that. And here's one mistake I see buyers make. They hear that prices are going up in Dominican Republic, and they assume that every neighborhood is experiencing that same growth, and it's not true. Some areas have stronger rental demand. Some have better infrastructure. Some have limited land available, and others still have room to grow. And that's why it's so important for you to research the specific location as to where you want to invest instead of going by headline. Remember, real estate is local, because even within the same city, two neighborhoods, they can have two completely different stories. Now, you've probably heard me say this before. The cheapest property is not always the best investment. Sometimes paying a little more for the right location, the right developer, and the right amenities put you in a much better position long term. I've talked to investors whose main focus is to save every possible dollar they could, but they were not asking the most important question. Who's the developer? What is happening around this project? Will people actually want to live here? And what's the long-term vision for this particular area? I'm not saying that price doesn't matter, because of course it does, but the value, it matters even more. So now let's answer the question that everybody wants to know. Will prices continue to rise forever? Probably not, because no market ever moves in a straight line forever. Some neighborhoods are going to level off. Some are going to continue to grow. Certain projects will outperform others. Some won't meet expectations. That's just how real estate works. And this is exactly why I don't believe people should buy just because they feel like they're missing out. Because fear is never a good investment strategy. Instead, buy because the property fits your goals. Buy because the numbers make sense. Buy because you understand the location. Buy because you've done your homework, not because somebody on the internet is telling you that the prices are going to go up. After spending the last several years in the Dominican Republic real estate market, here's one lesson that I've learned. Prices are not increasing just for one single reason. It's a combination of tourism, remote work, construction costs, infrastructure, lifestyle changes, international buyers, local demand, and long-term confidence in the country's future. And all these pieces are working together. So that's why I tell people, stop asking about what's the cheapest property. You want the property that's gonna fit your lifestyle that you are trying to build. That's the question you need to be asked. Because whether you're trying to buy a vacation home, an investment property, or a place to eventually retire, the goal is for you to still feel good about your investment years down the road. I would love to hear your thoughts if you think the Dominican real estate market will continue to rise over the next 5 years, or do you think it's going to level off before then? Leave a comment below. I'd like to hear your perspective. And if you're thinking about investing in a property here and you need professional guidance, click the link in the video description below that says I want to invest in real estate, and also sign up to our weekly DR Insiders real estate newsletter. It's packed with information over there as well. And until then, guys, always keep your goals at the forefront of your mind. Always live in the present, because that's the only way you're gonna live your best life. And we out. Peace.